What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Grandmasters have returned in Season of Defiance, and today we are diving into the Lake of Shadows and breaking down all the current cheeses and workarounds, as well as the best loadouts and strategies to easily complete the Lake of Shadows on Master or Grandmaster difficulty. When the Lake of Shadows is the featured weekly Nightfall, the Swarm Heavy Machine Gun will be available with Adept versions only coming out of Grandmaster. Until such time, the Lake of Shadows will reward whatever the featured weekly weapon is, with the Hung Jury currently available when this video was put together. The Lake of Shadows received a major facelift this season, making it significantly longer and much more difficult, but that doesn't mean that this Grandmaster can't be beaten. The Lake of Shadows puts you up against the Cabal and the Taken, where you'll see barrier and unstoppable champions of both the Taken and Cabal variety. There's a total of 6 barriers and 6 unstoppables. There will be several energy shields to contend with as well, including Solar, Arc, Void, and Strand. Your enemies receive a bonus in arc damage, and since most of the weaponry that your enemies will use will be either Solar or Arc, I would advise using Solar or Arc resistance mods as well as Concussive Dampener to reduce the effects of area damage. You will receive a bonus to Solar and Strand damage, so in terms of weapons, this gives us a lot of options. The Outbreak Perfected, Wishender, Arbalest, Revision Zero, and Lament will all be exceptionally powerful to use against barrier champions. The Malfeasance, Skyburner's Oath, Devil's Ruin, or Polaris Lance can all make for great options to use against unstoppables. The Malfeasance and Skyburners will have the most benefit out of this group, as Malfeasance deals bonus damage to Taken, and Skyburners deals bonus damage to Cabal. Strand Suspensions continue to be a godsend, and will really make managing champions a lot easier, but so can Stasis. Void Hunters with Omnioculus can really help the team out with invisibility, to get through the bomb transport stages, and to keep the team alive when facing the Threshers, Tormentor, and Boss. Since we're in the realm of Grandmasters, I recommend aligning your build and loadouts to facilitate team support and survivability. This is why for the Lake of Shadows, I'm running a Well of Radiance Stag build with double primaries. This gives me the versatility of handling any of the champions without the need of an ability or teammates, and this build gives the entire team the advantage of a constant source of both healing and resistance. Scorch and Ignitions will also benefit greatly with a bonus in solar damage. Legendary weapons with Chill Clip, Headstone, or Incandescent can be very helpful as well. When the Lake of Shadows begins, you'll have to transit multiple Resonance Bombs through the Trostlands, while Hunters with Omnioculus can keep the team invisible and pass by many of the enemies. This can be pretty risky on Grandmaster level. The transit does remove the Taken flooring that's around the area, so you will want to progress through this area cautiously, with small segments at a time, so that you don't draw too many enemies in at once. Whenever you see a broken bus, this is an opportunity for a great vantage point that provides top-notch cover. You can shoot through many of the busted windows to keep you free from harm. Eventually, you'll get to Majin Buu, the Taken meatball, more accurately known as Baj Moog, the Unchained Wrath, I think. I don't know. Someone can correct me in the comments below. This sumbitch is a pain in the ass though, especially if you try to take it head on. So don't. Stay as far back as possible. Pop wells and rifts, and stay back towards the alleyway so that you can use the buildings as cover, putting as much distance between you and everything else. Halfway through the boss's health, you will need to pick off the Taken tethers, but you can use the grassy area adjacent to the broken bus to get a good vantage point on the tethers themselves, then quickly return back to the alleyway. This is a much safer method to taking on this encounter. Once you've slayed the juicy meatball and detonated the bomb, you'll transition into the Reservoir, leading you to the treacherous balcony area with the ever so annoying Threshers. Beyond any other enemies that are in this area, these need to be prioritized, and the first will come in as soon as the 2 yellow bar phalanxes die. A few good rockets will do the trick, but otherwise the Wishender and Skyburner's Oath can really eat away at the Threshers. Just be sure to stay in either the entrance hallway or the corridor area once you've stepped out to the catwalk, because you don't want to get bombarded by the Thresher's turrets. The second Thresher will spawn in once you've started to progress forward, so stay in the far left area and use the pillars as cover. Pick off the Thresher, then move your focus towards the Cabal on the catwalk. You'll clear through a few more sets of ads and a few more rooms before getting to the Tormentor room. And I really wish this encounter had some sort of cheese, because it's just as much of a pain in the ass as the Taken meatball was. Thankfully though, there's an upraised platform that's on the left and a large box unit that's on the right that you can use to play cat and mouse with the Tormentor. Being able to suppress, suspend, or freeze the Tormentor will be a valuable asset, and invisibility can really come in handy to avoid his finisher moves. Once the Tormentor is down, you're on to the boss room, which can become quite chaotic. But there's a few workarounds and best strategies for making it much less strenuous. At different points, the boss will summon these cruxes that will circle the room. These will cause the floor to become taken, causing burning damage. But by disabling all of the cruxes, the taken floor will clear away. This boss will also throw tethers at you, and if hit by one, you'll need to quickly destroy its anchor. A strong sword or lament can make for a great combination with Well of Radiance to be able to really cut through the boss quickly. But the sword strat only works if all three guardians are using the lament or another top tier DPS sword. There is a cheese spot in this boss arena that allows you to get above the map and out of harm's way. Around the perimeter of the room are some exposed pipes and a few small ledges that you can use for cover. But by jumping further above the barrier of the ceiling, you can get to the top, which will still allow you to shoot enemies down below. You can still take damage from this spot, but by ducking, you'll avoid most anything. This can make for an excellent last resort spot for a guardian who's being carried, or for those attempting this solo. And this works on all variations of the Lake of Shadows. For those not utilizing the out of bounds option, it will be wise to bounce between the outskirts of the boss's platform, using the rock structures for cover. Keep an eye on the cruxes and utilize wells, barricades, and invisibility as often as possible. Strand suspensions and stasis freezing effects can really be beneficial to manage the ensuing ads that spawn in throughout this encounter. While the Lake of Shadows is quite different from previous seasons, it's honestly a pretty fun Nightfall, and a much richer experience out of a Grandmaster strike. It certainly has a few votes as hardest Grandmaster this season, but by using the different workarounds and best practices that we've covered today, you should have a much easier time at completing the Lake of Shadows as a team or as a solo guardian on Master or Grandmaster levels. And with that being said, I wish you all the best of luck throughout this season with all of your Grandmaster attempts. Let me know how they're going in the comments below, and thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.